Every generation before us says the same thing. Gen Zs are lazy.
But let's be honest, are we really lazy or are we just tired of broken systems?
Let's find out. I wonder who came up and said, "Oh, Gen Zs are lazy," or I wonder where the narrative came from.
Other generations, there's a way things were done back then, especially when it comes to like the typical 9 to 5, right? How you're being treated prior to even getting the job is exactly how they're going to treat you when you're in the job.
Yeah, I've been somewhere that they were literally paying me for my troubles, but it was toxic and I couldn't see.
I wake up every morning, I'm like, oh my gosh, this job.
Welcome, my What's Your Impact family, to 2026. Thanks for our journey in 2025. And this year we have something special for you. We have our Gen Z series, and I have something special for you. I have a co-host, my PR girly. I have Boomy Booms. Do you want to do like a brief intro?
Hi everyone, thank you. What's your impact? Thank you for having me on Osewe. I'm very excited for like the topics we have in plans, the conversations. Can't wait.
Okay, are Gen Zs actually lazy, or are we just playing in a broken system?
I think the real question is, okay, yeah, what you said, but then it's also like, are we failing the system or is the system failing us? When you look at it from that perspective, it's much different, right? I think our system definitely is broken. And I think Gen Zs, we do things a little bit differently compared to, other generations.
I agree that we definitely do things differently because it's only Gen Zs. Like me personally, right? I don't know if it's a Gen Z thing. I think we just don't like to conform to these systems because we've seen people conform to those systems and then it doesn't work out for them, or it hasn't worked out for them. So we don't see the need to conform to those systems, and I don't think that means we are lazy. We just find our ways to do things and we still get the results at the end of the day.
True.
That's why I think.
Yes, I think, and that whole finding our way and still getting, the right results, many people don't really understand it. When you're going through that process, they're looking at you, questioning it, and all. So yeah, I get
like
that.
how does this girl come to the office by 11 a.m. and then she still gets the work? Yeah, she still gets the work done. But I think, me personally, right, I feel like I like to be known for, not intentionally, obviously, not out, but I like to be known for, doing things how I want to do them, but then still getting the result done.
Exactly.
Not that I will
Still
now
making
try
it work.
Yeah.
Definitely. In regards to that question though, so there was something I saw on Twitter. I think it was Twitter. It was about, going for a job interview. Let's say they call you in for like 9 a.m. and you get there and out of nowhere they tell you that, HR is not available until the next 3 hours. And they're not really giving you the option, do you want to stay or should we reschedule?
If you don't want the job, you go. Literally.
And there was like this whole thing around it, and there was like people saying like, oh, there was like two sides to it. Some people were saying, oh, okay, if you really want it, you sit, you wait. If you're serious about it and you really want it, you sit down and you wait. And others were like, why am I begging? So which seat are you sitting on?
Why am I begging? Literally. I mean, like I get the idea of, jobs are scarce, I get. But I won't come somewhere and then if you had a meeting and you had something before, you could have told me, oh hi, you have an interview by 10 a.m. but we have a meeting that is staying longer till 2 p.m. Can you come later? Or I mean, if I saw that message when I was on my way, fine. I saw it late, right? And then I would wait. But you can't allow me get there and then telling me I have to wait for 3 hours. I mean, I want the job, but I'm not begging for the job because I think something is, once you just kind of people that, or if there's a human resource or HR system that works like that, where they don't really consider that you don't have other things or you have other things to do, right? So when you get that job, personally, I don't think it will be the best experience.
Yep. How you're being treated prior to even getting the job is exactly how they're going to treat you when you're in the job. I feel like you're not valuing my time. I'm there because you were looking for me. As much as I'm also there because I need the job, but you literally are looking for me. So it's really, I don't know. And then again, you didn't give me the option. Like, do I want to stay and should we reschedule, or you're literally just saying, I have to wait that 3 hours. I'm sorry, I don't think I can do that.
And I feel like even if I wait, when I get to the interview,
tell me I didn't get it.
No, you'll be upset because I'll just be like, yeah, I waited for you for literally 3
Ginger has
hours.
gone.
Yeah, literally.
Everything you've crammed is gone.
So I wonder where did the narrative come from? Like, I wonder who came up and said, oh, Gen Zs are lazy, or I wonder where the narrative came from.
I feel like with other generations, there's a way things were done back then, especially when it comes to like the typical 9 to 5, right? I feel like it was a do or die thing. You know, your job starts by 9 a.m. We expect you to be there, in fact, by 8:30. Some of them will say 8 a.m. And I'm like, but if you've given me the window between 8 and 9, of course I'm going to get there by 9. Like, 9 is not late. I'm on time.
Yeah.
But to them, that's late. And then there's like this whole issue. Let me actually share a personal experience. So, you know, when in Lagos, the flooding is absolutely horrendous, right? And me, I don't want to say it's a Gen Z. I don't want to believe it's a Gen Z thing. But for me, waking up and seeing that I'm surrounded by floods,
I'm
not going anywhere that day. Like, there's no work that day. I will work from home. So I remember like calling HR and letting them know that, you know, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. This is my current situation. And there was like a whole thing around it. And there was like the whole stories coming out, you know, back in the day when it was my time. I'd enter keke, you know, rain would drench me. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think I want rain to drench me and still enter the office and be productive with my work.
To be honest, right, even in some workplaces, it's still a do or die. Like, not necessarily do or die in the sense of coming early. It's do or die in the sense of sometimes by 2 a.m. I'm still working. Do you understand? Like, I know that I have a deliverable for tomorrow, but I'm going to get it done tonight. So it doesn't mean that I have to come to the office by 7 a.m., leave by 5 p.m. I have to, because that's even making me less productive, right? The time I spend commuting, trying to swim in the flood, literally, it's going to take all my time. So I think we still get the work done. So I don't really understand where the narrative is from or why, you know.
I feel like
it's painted that way.
I feel like they always expect you have to show how much you want that job, how much it means to you, you know, how dedicated you are to it. And I can't fold with that.
Yeah. And I think that most times the fact that we have some boundaries, like I get, you know, personally, right, me, I like to get things done, right? So I would stay up to do work till 2 a.m. But some people would not want to do that, and that's totally fine, right? And I think that the fact that we have those boundaries sometimes, like these people are entitled, right? Like you said, back in the days, I would not sleep throughout the night. Like if I don't want to sleep, is my choice. Literally, it's not necessary that I don't sleep to get.
And I'm more productive in the midnight. Actually, I'm sending emails by like 1 a.m. Lord help me. Okay.
Yeah, and I feel like I think it was even you I was having a conversation with, like you have your mental days off.
They're so important.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes work gets so overwhelming. Sometimes you yourself will get so lost in the sauce, you know, and you find yourself getting so burnt out. Some might call it laziness. To be honest, I get that. But I see it as, you know, I've been doing a lot back to back and I need to take a breather. I need to work on my mental health. I need to be sure I'm good. You know, just having that, even if it's like one day off, to just rest your head, sleep in, you know, not having that anxiety that, oh my God, by 9 a.m. I need to open that email and send it to da-da-da-da. I need to sort out this meeting. Just take the day off, man. Like work still continues, whether you're there or not, it still continues. And like we said, so far as like you're still ticking off those deliverables, so far as like, you know, you're not delaying anybody, you're not serving as a blocker for anyone else in the office space, you're good.
Yeah, and I think that even takes me to like toxic work environments, right? And me personally, I have stories, but I have a particular story I always tell. I have a particular story that I always tell because, you know, like people say that toxic work environment is not a thing.
It's a thing.
Honestly, right, 4 or 5 years ago, I'd have said, maybe, I mean. But to be honest, like I've been somewhere that they were literally paying me for my troubles, but it was toxic and I couldn't stay. And when I left, people were like, you're so bold, you're so, this is such a Gen Z thing. I'm like, I couldn't sleep at night.
You were even told you were bold. I was told that I was not strong enough. I hadn't grown thick skin. And I'm like, why do I have to be forced to stay in such an environment? If I'm not comfortable anymore, I'm not happy, it's affecting my productivity. I wake up every morning, I'm like, oh my gosh, this job. I don't have thick. Why do I not have thick skin? Why do I have to go through that?
And I think it's something, I guess, because it's something that I guess they normalized, right? And they're like, okay, if, this is my job, that's what's paying me, I have to grow thick skin to just come here, do my work and my money. But people are not even genuinely productive that way, because I'm working under pressure. I'm not working because I want to do the work. I'm just working because, okay, this is my source of livelihood and I have to survive.
I don't even know how to work well under such circumstances. Yeah. I start to question my when I see that I'm not being as productive as I know I can be, I start questioning, myself in that moment. Am I even like in the right space right now? Am I up to it for this job role?
Yeah.
Which I hate, because you could be doing so well, but because the environment is not healthy, you question yourself a lot. And I feel like once it gets to that point, personally, I'd advise anyone in that situation to leave.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you, because like me personally, right, I always say that I get my validation from the work I do most times, right? And I have never been in a place where I'll do something and people are like, oh, this is great work. And I found myself in that place, and I'll do work and people are like, you didn't do this one. And I'm like, I've never gotten this feedback in my life before. That was already a point at that, I don't need to be here. I do not need to be here. And when I left, right, I'm in a new environment now, and I see my value, right? I see what I knew about myself before, that, oh, I can do something, and people will say, oh, this is very excellent, right? So I think all those pointers, once you just say that, oh, you're somewhere, you know yourself. I know that, okay, I do work well, I do this thing well. But for some reason, in this place, I'm not doing it well to people, right? Or I'm painted at something, I'm this. I think you should just leave, literally. Yeah.
I think one question that has been ringing in my mind is, I'm going now to the hustle culture, right? Is the hustle culture a scam or a season?
Let me tell you, I'm still Gen Z, guys. I'm still Gen Z. But I think it's a season, though, because maybe not the hustle culture being a season, but like there's a season in life where you have to make sacrifices. You have to prioritize hustle, basically, over things that you would usually like being soft, doing all these things. You have 100%. To prioritize hustling. What do you think?
I 100% agree. I think
does that mean we're not Gen Z?
I don't think it means we're not Gen Zs. I think it means maybe we're the Gen Zs doing it right, on the right track, right? I think you do get to a point where, you want soft life, but then if you're on the right track, you realize that in order for me to continue this soft life, I need to get my hustle in. Like, I need to get in my bag. Nobody's going to come and save you. That's one thing that I always say, and it always rings in my head. Nobody is coming to save you. You're only going to save yourself. So if you're not embracing the hustle culture, I don't know how you want to survive it.
And something very random to what we're talking about now. Okay, so I guess some people understand that there's some times where you have to hustle in quotes, but then they have people around them that don't have that same mindset, right? So they're like, am I actually doing the right thing? Like your friends call you, oh, let's go to this place. You're like, oh, I'm busy. Because personally, people are like, oh, so you're always busy. I'm like, guys, please, I'm always busy for now.
See, so many words. So I think this was mostly me last year.
Yeah.
Where I started taking work way more seriously, prioritizing it before anything. And before this, I was Bumi, the one that, guys, let's go clubbing, let's go for drinks, let's go check out this new restaurant. But then it's like, I don't know, even as a human being, like eventually there's no substance to it. Like, it's no more fun, and for me, it's weird, but I think work actually creates like my real personality for me. That's me. I like to work. I like to fix things. I like to solve problems. I like being in spaces where I'm told that, like you said, like, that thing you did, great. Going out is nice, but it means money, having to spend money. How are you spending the money if you're not making it? So I always tell my friends, you guys have to just get used to this new version of me.
Check back in 2-3 years.
Right?
I'm out.
Like, if you guys join me on this wagon,
Yeah.
next 2-3 years, it won't be an issue.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to sum it all off, do you think history will call Gen Zs lazy or revolutionary?
You are revolutionary.
Honestly, I think we've birthed a lot of great people and
Yeah.
a lot of people who are even still in the process of
There's a people that we're bringing on here as well.
A lot of people will be bringing on here as well, yes. So yeah, are we lazy or are we revolutionary?
I mean, even if people call us lazy, we're still producing results. I think that's what matters to me, right? People can label you anything. You can say, oh, you're lazy, you are whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm bringing out the results, and that's what matters, literally. So I think the label doesn't really matter, in my opinion, right? What matters is that
the results
we
that come
are
after
bringing
it.
out the results. Yeah,
I agree. I agree.
Do people actually prefer us to try to make our own ways around the systems, or just leave the system and find our own way somewhere else where the system works for us?
Honestly, I don't think too deep on that. I feel like it's for real. I think it's personal preference.
Yeah.
And it's about the lens you decide to use to see your environment. For me, when I look at Nigeria, I see potential. But then if everyone's Japan, the potential we could have, you get, how are we going to even get there if nobody believes in it? Personally, I feel like there's a lot of potential in Nigeria. The system is broken now, but it doesn't mean tomorrow it has to stay that way.
Yeah, and I always say that when things like this happen, there's always opportunity. In the midst of chaos, in the midst of a broken system, in the midst of
there's so many gaps in the market. There's so many gaps that we are yet to fill.
Yeah, like how we just randomly say, Booms, how far? I thought about this thing. And like, oh, Sarah, how far? I thought about this thing.
Like, ideas come every day with us. And I'm just like, I don't know. Honestly, again, it's personal preference, and it sums down to the lens you decide to look at it. I don't blame the people who do decide to leave. At the end of the day, it also boils down to opportunities, the type of connections you have. Not all hands are equal.
Yeah, true.
What could be easy for one person might not be easy for the next. And I get that. And some people will find that the life they're able to build for themselves outside of here, the process is much easier. What they're able to achieve over there, it's easier to achieve it than it would be here. And I get that. And I don't think I'm against it. That's why I said I think too deep into it. But then again, I still believe there's so much potential. There's so much to be done. There's so many gaps in the markets, even as of now. There's so many things that we could do that we don't do. We complain a lot. Yeah. I don't know if people come for me for this, but we complain a lot instead of actually doing. Yeah. I like when people complain and bring solutions. Yeah. Complain and know that's okay, this is the issue.
This is not working, full stop.
Bro, yeah. Complain and tell me that, okay, as much as I've seen this, I feel like this is another way. There's always someone out there that can help you execute.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think one thing we've not touched in total summary is, do we think the system only works when people are exhausted? Meaning that it's not sustainable, or we've seen the cost of silence and working under broken systems, and we've come to a point where we've chosen not to be silent.
Yeah, so I think that, for example, when you want to start your fitness journey in culture, people tell you that, oh, if you start and you do something that you can sustain, you can't work with it, right, basically. So I feel like that's the way, me personally, if I start a new job and you see me by 7 a.m. I'm in the office, next week I won't do that, I'll just be burnt out. Literally. So you will see me in the office next week, literally. So I think that the same way, for something to actually work, for something to produce long-term results, long-term, I guess, results that stay, basically, you have to build a sustainable system around the system that actually works for you, right? And you know that at the end of the day, the end goal is what you're working towards, right? But then the process is something that you can work with that is sustainable. Yeah.
I feel like people need to learn to use their voices and their power in workspaces, most especially. If you go into a system and you see that it's it's not healthy, it's not sustainable. I don't feel like there's any problems bringing like a change to that environment. People will
Yeah.
follow you because you'll find out that so many people feel the same way.
Yeah, and it doesn't even have to be like, when you say change the environment, people are like, oh, what if I don't have the opportunities to have that audience to bring that change? You don't have to have an audience to drive change or
Not
to
like
create an
grand
impact.
change,
Literally, you can start from yourself. You can start from, for example, if you see that you come into a workplace, right? The interns are not being valued, right? Because they are young, because they're Gen Z. You can start something. You can start. Me personally, I take it upon myself because when I started working, right, the interns in my office, right, they were not ready. So I'm like, okay, let these people feel valued. Let them feel like they are doing something in the
Yeah.
organization. So I kind of found like small tasks to just give them
Yeah.
things that they would keep doing, and they will know that, oh, I'm going to the office today. I know this is what I have to do. This is what I have to do. Because it gives you a sense of purpose when you know that, okay, I have something to do. So I take it upon myself, right? I don't know if they eventually, they don't realize initially, right? But then someone is like, so I find myself doing this thing every week, and I find myself looking forward to doing it. And I'm like, okay, yes, like it was something that, I just took it upon myself to do when I go somewhere, right? I'm like, okay, let's try to make people, let me create a change here, right? Normally
Yeah.
they'll send interns to buy bread to do,
Yeah.
but they should actually be doing work, be learning, because you're an intern, but you can create an impact. You can do something in the organization. You can close a project literally, right? You need to be gingered enough. You need to know that you're valued enough, right? And then your opinions matter enough to drive that change. Yeah.
I totally agree. I 100% agree. I feel like myself in the office too. I am the court of law. I'm always just standing up for everyone when I
Yeah.
feel like things are not being done in a fair way. I always have to voice out. And before I start, I'll say, this might get me in trouble, though. But
Just putting it out
because it will
there.
be itching me. Like I
Yeah.
can't, if I see somebody is being overworked, if I feel like somebody is even doing more than their job role and they're like literally so burnt out and you can see it, I will speak. So the change starts from little things like that. Again, it doesn't have to be something so grand, you know. So guys, you're not lazy. You are just refusing to align to broken systems. And
Yeah.
feel free to ask questions, ask the necessary questions, stand your ground, embrace it.
And I think something that, I guess something that we probably would not realize now, when we realize when we're not more the Gen Zs, right? Is, how they say broken people or hurt people, right? And then some people don't want to be called lazy. They don't want to be labeled as people that are, what's the word? Insubordinate, basically. So they conform to the systems, and
Because they want to prove themselves.
yeah, and they find themselves now creating that kind of environment that wasn't comfortable for them for other people, right? So I
Yeah.
think personally, right, or as Gen Zs, we need to ensure that we are not now creating systems that we're complaining about.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's like a charge to us to ensure that this is the environment you're creating, the little system that you're creating, it's an image of what you would want to see when you go into a system. Yeah.
I have a little thing to share with
Yeah.
that. I remember I joined my job and I remember asking for like templates. I had like a whole bunch of stuff to work with. I asked for templates and this guy said, I asked him for templates and he was like, he has it, but then it's like, when it was his turn, he had to like, figure
Build
it
from
out.
scratch, yeah.
And I'm like, but you have the templates. And he was like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, but you'd rather I go through the frustration you went through that you probably hated than you just making life easy for me and giving me the templates. And that was when I knew. That's when I knew that I want to say something, but let me not on camera.
Yeah.
But yeah, just wanted to add that to what you just
Yeah,
said.
because I'm sure he hasn't thought back on that and realized that, okay, I'm doing this thing that I did not like that they did to me, and
Yeah.
literally doing it to someone else.
And I was not the one to tell him about himself.
Yeah.
It's just
Some people would also think that there is no system to even be filled, right? Like people would say the system doesn't even work, right? Whatever, even if you're rich or you're poor in Nigeria, the system doesn't work. If you want to get something done, you still go through very funny processes. So it's not a system that works that, we're speaking about in the first place.
again, it's really just boils down to your perspective and like I said, the lens in which you choose to look at things in this country. you saying that, I would totally understand, right? You're sitting at a position whereby there's lack of opportunities. You've been in situations where the system has actually failed you, actually. And of course, there's zero hope there. And the minute you get the chance to leave into a system that seems
That
much
works.
better,
Yeah.
but I would say it just has a pretty bow around it. To be honest, I feel like everywhere you go, the same system we're complaining about here, it happens everywhere. They just know how to put a nice bow around it. To be honest, it's almost like pick your poison. So if you can't stand it here, how are you going to stand it over there? And that's why I always say, when you get there, go there first. When you get there, come back and let's have this conversation.
Yeah.
There's broken systems everywhere. No system is perfect. I've been opportune to live over there, right? So for me to choose here over there, I feel like that says a lot. People make it look so easy from over there. Half the people you're probably going to see online who are working great jobs that pay them enough money to live comfortable lives, have you asked them the process? Have you asked them how many years of grit it took for them to get to where they were? It's not something that happens like this. The same effort you're probably going to have to put in here in Nigeria, it's the same effort you have to put in there. So the question I feel like most people should ask themselves here is, are you even putting in enough effort, or are you already limiting yourself because of how you've chosen to see things?
Okay, I guess to wrap up or to answer the question, are we lazy or is the system just broken? The system is definitely broken in ways that we all know, different ways we all know, right? And Gen Z's, what we just do is that we don't conform to that system, right? So we're not lazy, we're intentional, right? We have hard boundaries, but we want to live a soft life. So we have hard boundaries basically, and those boundaries, those are the things that make us go through the systems, the broken systems, right, and still come out, right, bringing out results. So I would not say we're lazy. I would say that we have our own way we do things, right? We do things in our own way, but we end up creating the impact. We end up bringing our results that people will want to see. So I think people should just focus on the results and not focus on the process that we want to go through. That's my 2 cents on that.
I think, as many adults like to say, it's not about it's not about how you got there, but how well, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think if the process of getting you somewhere breaks you, getting there, you're not going to enjoy what you thought you'd enjoy there. So I guess a question to our audience: what do you think? Do you think, are we lazy, or is the system just broken? And we're finding our way around the system, or being called lazy. What do you guys think?
Guys should send in questions. We're always open to questions.
Yep.
Or even just opinions and comments on what we've spoken about today.
Thank you for listening to us talk about, our systems and how we are creating ways to work around our systems in this episode, and expect to anticipate to see more Gen Zs that are creating impact in our system.
Across the Gen Z series, we're going to be spotlighting on a lot of people who are in the come up, who are already up and are making a great impact, in the various industries that they work in. So please make sure you follow our YouTube and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, on X, on TikTok. Just stay tuned.
And we'll see you next time. Bye.